Hi, today I'm going to answer the question, what is a sales pipeline? This is a term you've probably heard around the internet in your business, from your business colleagues, and you're not exactly sure what it is. Well, I'm going to walk you through that today. I'm going to break it down for you. My name is Selena. I'm founder of the Consistent Clients Accelerator, where I help service providers, consultants, coaches, experts accelerate their time to generating clients consistently for their business. And having a sales pipeline that works is a critical part of generating clients consistently for your service business. So let's go ahead and start with this question. What is a sales pipeline? You might have also heard like opportunity pipeline, marketing pipeline, but let's use the term sales pipeline for the focus of this conversation. And essentially what it is and this is the key word, the stages your prospective, or I should say your potential client goes through. Okay. I'm going to try to write neatly here to become your client. Your client. Okay, so you all have, if you're listening, you certainly have gone through these stages yourself when you went out to hire someone to help you with something. For example, this is the super simple example, but let's say I want to have Chinese food for dinner. I could go to Yelp, right? Or some other app which you might have, which shows you restaurants in your area, and I might type in Chinese restaurant. And then I'm going to see that restaurant. Then I'm going to go a little further. I'm going to like kind of look to see what the menu is, look at what people are saying about it, look at sort of the photos and so on. And then I'm going to actually decide. So we don't always just buy something or, hire somebody. There's usually a process to it. And that's what that is. Okay. So we're going to talk about 4 stages in this pipeline. Okay. And the first one is basically a lead. You have probably heard this word before, a lead. A lead is someone who suddenly, as we say, know, like, and trust, they know you. They come to know you in some way, okay? They come to know you in some way. Oh, I'm going to rewrite that. I want you to be able to read that. Help. Let's try that again. Technology. Okay, here we go. They know you in some way. You all of a sudden come into their world, okay? This doesn't mean they're going to buy from you. Important rule. A lead is not somebody who's going to buy from you. They just know about you, okay? And after they get to know you, like in the story of me looking for a restaurant, like I know these 10 restaurants in my area exist, but then I'm going to become, at least in the service world, okay, I'm going to become a prospect, okay? A prospect, that's another term you might have heard. A prospect is somebody who, basically meets certain criteria that indicates they might be a good client for you, or they're thinking about becoming a client of yours, right? There's a little deeper interest. And if you think about that, know, like, and trust, you've probably heard that before. No, I would say like, and they begin to trust you. And I'm looking at their pictures and let's say the restaurant, and I'm like, ooh, that looks really good. And I see a lot of like big, 5-star reviews. I mean, my trust level, I'm beginning to like them and I'm beginning to trust them, right? This is the second stage in a sales pipeline, okay? Now, the third stage is when they become a client, okay? And typically, this really just means they buy. Let me hold off on that for a second. They become a client, and here, this is a really important part. Let's see if I can do this. Sales conversation. There's usually a sales conversation somewhere in here, especially if you're selling services or high value services. You're going to likely have a sales conversation. And that's when they are going to, what I like to say, invest. They're going to invest their hard-earned money in you to help them transform their lives, to go from a bad situation to a new situation, to improve, make an improvement in whatever aspect they need that improvement, and they're going to pay you for it. They're going to invest their hard-earned money in you, and they basically, there's an exchange of money, and now they're a client. But it doesn't end there. And I encourage you, if you have always thought about the sales process as sort of ending there, more than ever, you really want to think of the sales pipeline as at least 4 stages, which is they become an advocate. And what that means is once they are a client and they really enjoyed working with you and they had a really positive experience and you actually delivered the outcomes that they paid you for, okay? They become an advocate. And that's, for example, when they do testimonials or they refer you, okay? Or they might actually like buy more. Well, I shouldn't say buy more. Let's do, since we're in services, let's just say hire you again. They rehire you. Okay. And this is really important because what that does is when they give you a testimonial or referral, they're feeding back into that system, right? Of giving you new leads. Okay. So well, actually, let me do this. Let's say we go back to the prospect. And the reason I'm going to do that is because really when you think about it, now I know going to a restaurant is more of a product than a service. You know, that's a whole other conversation. But I might have used like Yelp to find a list of Chinese restaurants, and that's in this lead area. But I become more interested in the prospect area, and part of that is looking at those reviews. And so if you've got people being advocates and creating testimonials and referrals, that's how that feeds in to turning people from, really critical here, leads to prospects, right? Okay. And when we think about the pipeline, it is a series of stages, and every stage is really, really important. Okay. Most likely you're not going to have one without the other. They all exist harmoniously. And that, to some extent, is the challenge with creating a good sales pipeline, because you can't just have one or the other. You can't have a great service and serve your clients really well if you don't have anybody buying, right? You can't, if you have people who come out of your service and they say really bad things about you, it's going to impact your prospects. If you don't ever have leads, you won't have prospects. And most of the time, people won't go from being a lead to a client without first learning more about you. So every little piece of this, you have to think of this as a whole, and every part is essential. And again, this is where people get tripped up when they think of a sales pipeline. They think it's just having sales conversations, or they think, oh, it's just lead generation. It's all the pieces, and it's all of them working harmoniously together in order to continually generate clients for your business in a sustainable way. Okay? So again, sales pipeline, just to remind you, lead, prospect, client, and advocate, all working together to build your business, grow your business. It gives you an opportunity to generate revenue for your business and serve your clients to make a bigger impact in their lives. So I hope that was helpful. If you want to learn more about marketing and sales and you're a service provider, I encourage you to subscribe to this channel. I send out a new video every Thursday. And before you go, I hope you'll make a comment or question below, because I would love to hear what you have to say, and I'm looking forward to responding. Hope you have a great day, and I'll see you next Thursday. Hope that was helpful. Bye-bye.